Hi, welcome back, and this brings us to section 3 of the course. So section 1 and 2, that's us. We've now officially got started. We're really getting going now. This section of the course, I want to present you with a few more frameworks, a few more ideas, a few practices, and ways of relating to people. I also want to now show you the direction that we want to be guiding our clients in. All right, let's start with the end in sight. I want to open up this section of the course with a very, very simple idea. It's one that is taught and presented in many different contexts: leadership and management and CBT and coaching. This is a core self-awareness based idea called the Johari window. It was a concept that was spawned, given birth back in, I think it was 1955, by two gentlemen named Harry Ingham and Joseph Luft. Now, I know what you're thinking. It's a bit of a funny name, Johari. Where did it get its name from? Well, the two co-owners, Harry Ingham and Joseph Luft, I think there were two. One of them was a cognitive psychologist, one was a social scientist, I think. They ended up conceptualizing this model. They couldn't decide on a name, so they decided to merge both of their first names together: Joseph Lust, Harry Ingham, Joe, Harry, Johari. Johari window. That's actually a true story, by the way. All right, so I'm not just making that up. So the Johari window is a really fascinating framework that can allow us to better understand ourselves, i.e. the conscious, subconscious, and the unconscious part of ourselves, and also relate this framework to other people as well as CBT practitioners. All right, so what these guys have done is they've broken down our very existence into 4 different compartments, if you like. They've compartmentalized life. We have this area here called the open area. There's the part of us that we're totally aware of, where we know what we know what we like, we know what we dislike, we know what we believe, we know what we think, we know how we feel and all this kind of stuff. There's what I know about myself, and this part of us we're not ashamed of, we're okay with, so it's therefore what other people know about me also. It's a part of us that goes out in public, that we don't have a problem exposing and letting the world know about. All right, but don't we know that there's more to us, there's more going on than just this part of us? Because what many people operate out of in life is this facade. There's this person that we'll be when we're in the midst of people that we can trust, people that we feel comfortable with, but then there's this version of us that comes out every time we feel perhaps threatened, or we feel out of our depth or out of our comfort zone or something like this, right? Let's think about networking meetings. Have you ever been to one before? Here in Scotland, going to business networking meetings kind of makes me cringe. I go to some every now and again, just in case. You never know who you might meet. But to be honest with you, I struggle very, very much working with people who are operating out of a facade, the masks that people wear in life. Right? I've been to networking meetings, and you have people who spend all this time talking about how great they are and what they're doing and what they want to do and all this kind of stuff, whilst actually not having done too much. Some people talk a better game than they play. All right. Facade. This is where sometimes we'll know and we'll understand parts of ourselves that we don't want other people to know. All right. So we'll generally put on a facade when we're trying to cover up parts of ourselves, to defend ourselves or protect ourselves, where we're scared of getting caught out or something like this. And the reason why I'm sharing this with you is because in the early stages of a CBT-based therapeutic relationship, your clients aren't necessarily going to trust you yet, right? Let's think back to some of those ideas in the last section. We looked at the formula that must be in place, the standard in order to win the trust of a person, right? First and foremost, for the relationship to continue, they're going to have to be open, receptive, and appreciative, but you're going to have to be completely aware. You're going to have to be available when you're thinking. You're going to have to be paying attention. Otherwise, you're going to be showing them that you can't be trusted, all right, unless you're being fully present. And here's the thing. All right, this is really, really important stuff, because if we are not demonstrating that we are there, we are present, we are fully available, we actually care, well, people don't care how much we know until they know how much we care. And unless we show them that we're actually there and that we do care, they are most certainly not going to lift their facade. All right. And this is where when people come to us for CBT, they want to change. Of course, they want to shift something, but they're not going to open up and put their heart on their sleeve if they don't know what they can trust us for. All right, no one in the right mind would do this. So this is something that the Johari window just allows us to get an appreciation for. All right, there's a part of us that we know about ourselves, the open area, what a person knows about themselves and is known by others in the groups or the team that they're part of. Then there's facade, when a person knows about themselves, but other people do not know. Are you with me? You catching what I'm cooking? All right, so we want to be working with our clients so they feel confident enough to lift the facade, to remove it, to take it away. Which means that obviously we cannot be operating from a facade ourselves. All right, now I know more than a few helpers and practitioners and therapists and healers who operate out of this facade. I am a qualified professional psychiatrist. I am a professional psychologist. I am a professional CBT practitioner. And they might be very, very professional, but what does professional even mean? Because if us being professional is coming at the cost of us being personable, then we might struggle to relate to those people who we claim we're actually here to serve. Are you hearing me, friends? All right, let's keep this stuff real. So, we know as CBT practitioners there's going to be a whole load of stuff that we don't know about them, that they know about them, and they need to know that they can trust us before they start letting us know about those parts of them that they want to keep hidden under a facade for now, all right? But what we want to understand, where we really want to go, we want to go somewhere else, all right? We want to help them to explore the blind spot. And what we are going to be able to see when they come in is the fact that they're operating out of a facade. They might very well be operating out of a facade, but this might be a default mode for them, all right? So they are operating out of the facade, but they're not aware that they're operating out of a facade. And this might potentially be one of the reasons why their relationships haven't worked out for them in the way that they've wanted to throughout their life. And this is just building upon the notion that most problems and issues in life have a relational component attached to them. All right. If a person is operating out of a facade, then they're certainly not operating out of a place of authenticity, sincerity, and integrity. You with me? Interesting stuff, isn't it? Quite relatable, I'm sure. So here's the thing. We all have a blind spot. None of us know what we don't know, but many of us think that we know it all. Even though we might not say that we know it all, we just assume that there isn't stuff that we don't know. And because we don't know what we don't know, we sometimes don't know what the best questions are to help us know that which we don't know. You're following on? So this is our blind spot. So what we want to be doing is we want to be asking questions and identifying and even provoking our clients to look at their blind spot. And this is when we'll ask questions like those questions I asked Karen, I think in the last demonstration that we gave. So Karen, if you were to look at this from a different perspective, from a different angle, what might you see? What blind spots might you have in your life? What perspectives, what ideas might you not have yet considered? All right? Because all people have this unknown, all right? And this is where there's parts of us going on we just don't know about ourselves, parts of us we just don't understand about ourselves, and we all sometimes do things and say things that we just don't understand why we say and do these things, right? Because we're all imperfect human beings. This is this area that I'm talking about, the unknown. So what we want to be doing is, of course, in a helping relationship, all right, or a CBT-based relationship, we're always going to be starting here. Right? But where we progress, this is kind of like end destination. So this is like the end goal. This is like the ideal best case scenario. But sometimes we might have to get from here via facade, break through facade, to then ultimately explore why it is that a person is operating out of a facade. What is it that they're unconsciously trying to protect? Or it might be the case that we just kind of go full frontal and just seek to identify and help our clients to identify parts of them that they can't see. And it goes without saying, therefore, that if we are wanting to lead our clients or other people into this place of unknown so that they can grow in insight and understanding of themselves, and this is where insight and understanding comes from, when we come to understand parts of ourselves that we previously did not understand. We can only go there or take our clients there if we ourselves have been there first. Are you with me? So it goes without saying that here's where the pedal hits the metal and the show hits the road, and I'm going to encourage you right now, start section 3, to go to the additional materials section and download a resource that we've created for you. It is the Johari window. Spend 10 to 15 minutes and work through this model on yourself. There's a few questions in the workbook as well, and it's going to really provoke you to look at those 4 different parts of yourself. Now, you do this just as a self-awareness exercise for you, but build this tool into your repertoire of CBT resources, because this can be a fantastic tool to share with your clients in the early stages of a CBT-based helping relationship. So my friends, you go there first so that when you do pull this out of your toolkit to share with your clients, you can share with them exactly what you learned when you went through the same process.